Hey, we're back! We're going to hop into the first adventure of the evening, which I have entitled Stone Hearts. Before we do so, though, we are going to introduce our characters. So without further ado, Alaster Wicked is joining us tonight. How are you doing tonight, Alaster?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
I'm glad to hear it. I don't believe that we have adventured. I know you've spoken to Jeremy quite a few times, but I don't know if we have adventured together before.
No, I don't think so.
So could you, just for my own refresher, could you remind me a little bit about Alaster Wicked and sort of his tale?
Well, I'm an 88-year-old man who used to be a famous wizard, and a evil vampire has drained away all of my magical prowess, and now I've trained myself in martial arts to take my revenge.
Are you hoping to get your magical powers back at some point, or are you just kind of happy now that you've landed in this newfound skill and physique that you have?
Well, I think regaining my powers would be preferable, as I spent my entire life in study.
Yes. I'm sorry for maybe bringing up a kind of continuing to dread you have a painful subject here, but it must be nice to be getting a little bit more physically powerful. I mean, is there some confidence that comes with all this training that you've been doing for your body instead of your mind?
Well, I enjoy the ability to travel on my own 2 feet. And I met some interesting ducks last time I was here. I do love ducks.
Well, that is very much a plus, Alaster. And welcome back. It's very good to have you with us again tonight.
Thank you.
We have Jatora Folres joining us as well. Did I pronounce that right, Jatora? Folres?
Yes, you did.
Jatora, could you tell me a little bit about yourself and what kind of brings you to the land of DnDTime here?
I am just wandering and wanting to spread the great force of my patron, the Great Tree.
Yes. Your patron is the Great Tree. Is your patron a particular Great Tree? Is it the Great Tree of the land of DnDTime, the one that is now embossed upon the stars, or is it a different Great Tree that you have that kind of connection with?
It's a little fuzzy, to be honest, but it's somewhere. I can feel it.
You just know in your heart.
Correct.
And what is this Great Tree that you have as your patron? What did they guide you to do? What is your purpose?
They guide me to guide the circle of life, so to speak.
So you just watch over nature and kind of make sure that things are proceeding, as intended, as to the best of your knowledge.
Correct.
Well, Jatora, I hope that you are successful tonight, as I believe you'll be headed into the wilderness. So I'm sure that skill set will be very valuable. Welcome back, Jatora.
Thank you.
Next up, we have a brand new character here in the lands of DnDTime. We have Nissa, Badger, Mica. Hi, Nissa.
Hello.
Do you prefer Nissa or Badger? Is Badger a nickname?
Yes, Badger is my nickname.
Okay. So Badger, in that case. Badger, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself? Kind of what's your skill set and what brings you to the land of DnDTime here?
Well, I'm a gnome druid. I have been away from my clan for about 10 years, just kind of living off in the wilderness. And I'm just curious as to why there's all these adventures coming through the forests and not being so kind to the forests.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry if Bartholomew's adventuring troupe has had a negative impact on the forests that you call home. Is that kind of part of your purpose for being part of this adventuring group, is to make sure that they're treating nature a little bit more responsibly?
Yes, absolutely.
I suspect that you and Jatora will have a lot in common in that particular regard.
I'm sensing that as well.
Well, Nissa, it's great to have you, and welcome to Bartholomew's adventuring troupe and the land of DnDTime.
Thank you.
And last but not least, we have another brand new character here. We have Herald joining us. Hello, Herald.
Oh, hello. I realized this place would bring more voices into my head. I shall add it to the collection.
Yes, I'm sorry that I have to kind of speak to you telepathically here. It's unsettling for some, but others adjust to it well. But Herald, this is your first adventure as a member of Bartholomew's adventuring troupe. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself, Herald?
Well, they guided me here, and hope to become more powerful to cleanse the great corruption of the forestry in this world.
Hmm. Well, again, I think you're in. I think you're in very good company here, Herald. And I noticed you have a very unusual appearance. What is your race, Herald?
I am what is known as a Warforged.
Hmm. I know that often druids kind of revoke metal, but you are not made of metal. You're made of wood.
Yes, it is strange that a being from the great beyond would choose something that was created by other creatures as its herald, but it seems we have common ideals.
Hmm. Well, I look forward to learning. I look forward to learning more about those deals, Herald, and I welcome you as well to tonight's adventure. So, without further ado, how about we hop into that? Um, the four of you were instructed by Bartholomew, sort of the quest giver here in Pete and Jerby's D&D time. He hooked you up with a job that was going to be deep within the wilderness of D&D time, the perfect kind of testing ground for the three of you here who are so kind of in tune with nature. And Alaster, you're kind of, I suppose, the most veteran of the adventurers here. And he has sent you to contact a dwarf by the name of Yorn, who apparently lives out in the forests here, alongside of his family. He's had some trouble with some basilisks that have appeared near his home, and he's kind of concerned about them, and he wanted an adventurer consultation on sort of how to deal with it, apparently. So, where we officially begin, the four of you find yourself kind of walking along the forest path, following the detailed instructions that Bartholomew gave you about how to find this particular dwarf. And you're coming into a clearing now, and you can see what looks to be a pretty rustic-looking forest home. There is a log cabin out here. There are some gardens and some sections of just plowed out for vegetables and things like that here in the forest. You can see the signs of, where there's wood being cut, and it looks like they live this individual lives a pretty humble lifestyle out here. But currently they are out in the yard of their space. You can see this big bearded dwarf on the older side, and he is staring down at what looks like a book of some kind, and there are books that are open, spread out all throughout the yard out here. And he looks a little bit frazzled. The beard is very unkempt. There is kind of next to him, you can see he keeps kind of glancing over at a large cauldron that has kind of a thin line of green smoke arising from it. That is the scene that you walk into as our adventure begins. What would the four of you like to do?
I suggest we approach them.
Yeah, certainly. You want to go up and kind of hail him?
My appearance could be strange to most. I recommend someone else approaches them from our group.
I will approach him.
All right. So Jatora, you begin kind of walking forward, and he sees you as you start to walk closer, and just, hello there. Well, I wasn't. Did you have any trouble finding the place?
No, it was very easy to find you.
Oh, that's wonderful news. Wonderful news. Why don't you all come on over? It's great that you were able to make it out here so fast. The wizard, I believe, is Bartholomew. That's what it was. Told me that the four of you could help me with a bit of a basilisk problem that I've been having.
Yes, I see. What is it that you're cooking up in your cauldron, though?
Yes, it's an old recipe, I need a particular ingredient for it. I've been doing some researching on it for a while now, but this is a potion that's going to require some of the powder from the egg. I have to grind up the eggshells of a basilisk egg and put it into the potion for it to be complete. Here, why don't you come inside? I can get you something. I have a map for you. I figured out where the basilisks were. I drew up a little bit of a map. Might be tricky to follow, but why don't you come on in? You can meet my daughter.
That would be lovely.
And he kind of hurries off into the house. Yeah, you see this cauldron over here. It's bubbling. It's giving off like a terrible, acrid smell. Whatever it is that he's cooking up in here. The books that he has on the ground, you're having to like step awkwardly over them because they're everywhere. And there's all manner of guides that you guys are seeing as they're looking down. Some of them have like pictures of basilisks on them. Other ones seem like herbalism, like reference guides. Some of them are just like history books and like charting information on the area surrounding the house. It is very some of like the scribbled notes that he has them. It definitely has a bunch of different pictures of things connected with string, kind of unhinged vibe to it almost. Yeah, he kind of rushes ahead and into the house. Do you guys all just sort of follow?
I'd follow inside, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Certainly. You pop into his house, and he goes. He's kind of rummaging around in the back when you walk in. You can see his back is to you, and he goes, "Go on ahead. I'd like you to meet my daughter. Her name is Yana." And you can see sitting at the table in this room, you can see a girl. She is currently, her mouth is kind of like just a little bit open, and she's just kind of staring into the middle distance because she seems to be completely petrified and turned to stone.
Oh dear.
He kind of comes back a moment later and kind of returns with a tied up piece of scroll. Did you get a chance to introduce yourself? Go on, say hello.
Oh,
Hello,
hi,
Yana.
I'm Herald.
Hello, Yana. I am Jatora.
Good. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. It's a little bit ridiculous, but I'm hoping to get those baskets. I've been learning about a potion to turn people who've been petrified back. Me and my wife, and he kind of gestures over to the side, and you can see leaning against the wall another woman who has been petrified, and he kind of gestures over to her. This is my wife. Her name is Duna. If you'd also say hello to Duna. Duna, dear, these are our guests. They're going to help you out.
It is nice to meet you, Duna.
I have to believe that somewhere in there they're hearing all of this, and I just want them to know that, some work is being done to make sure that they're safe again. If you if you wouldn't mind, he looks to you. He looks to you, Alaster. He said, "If you wouldn't mind, my son in the other room should just be about finishing up the breakfast. If you want to go in and bring in the sausage, you're welcome to join us for some sausages if you're interested."
Sure. Your son isn't also a statue, is he?
You poke your head into the room, and you can see that there's like an open flame that he's like basically tied a frying pan to his statue son's hand.
Oh dear!
And he's holding it over the flame. He looks back. He looks back over at you and just. He didn't burn it now, did he?
I'll make sure he doesn't.
He probably used just a little bit of help, if you don't mind helping him out. But yes, so I'm brewing up a potion that should turn them all back to normal, but it needs the egg of a basilisk, and I thought, well, if I go out and try and get the egg and also get turned to stone, then that's just sort of the ball game. So that's why I hired the four of you. Do you think you can fetch a basilisk egg for me?
We'll do what we can. I'm pretty sure we can grab one for you.
Okay, like I said, I drew up this map here. It shows the area. The strange thing is I don't know how... They were back at the house. This is, for the most part, where I found them. I mean, I moved them into places I thought they'd be a little bit more comfortable, but they were here. We'd known about the basilisks for some time, but they've never wandered this far away. I don't know what they were even doing here in the first place. So maybe it's some kind of basilisk mating season. Maybe... I don't know what it could be. So just be careful out there, okay? And I don't know how tough a basilisk actually is, but I have to assume that, I mean, you look at them and you turn to stone, so if you can go during the nightfall, they tend to sleep at night. I've been doing a lot of reading right now. You might be able to just get one without them even noticing. That'd be best for your own safety. Bartholomew told me not to worry about your safety and that you'll just come back to life if you're killed, but that feels kind of wrong, so just be careful, of course.
So, you're worried that something might be scaring them this way?
Scaring them, having them move, they usually hang out in their own sort of, they have territories. Again, this is reading I've been doing, and we've lived in peace with them for a long time. So, yeah, perhaps scared them this way. Maybe I was thinking it might be some kind of mating thing. Maybe another basilisk has come and moved into its territory. You would probably know as well as I.
All right. We'll see what we can do.
And he kind of goes over. By the way, is he done with breakfast yet?
I'll bring in the sausages.
It's pretty burnt. It's pretty burnt even when you got there. Not your fault, certainly. But he goes in and he starts eating them. You see he pours a cup of tea for his wife and daughter, and just kind of places it in front of them. And he's just constantly kind of talking to them and addressing words in their way, as if to just as if they can hear him. And he looks over at the four of you. So, if there's anything else you need from me, like I said, I've been learning about him a lot, but this map should get you all the way there. It's a pretty good walk through the forest that way.
Did you say that you wanted us to bring you some eggshells?
The eggs of the basilisk are what I'm looking for. Yeah, I can use it to make a potion if I've done everything right. That should bring my family back to normal. Pour it on the stone and it breaks it.
I think that would be all right if the druids don't mind.
Looks over at the three of you, or the two druids and the tree warlock.
Perhaps we can find an egg that's already hatched and has shards lying around.
I only need the shell. So anything that you can find. I don't know if they've been. I don't know if they'd be fertilized or not. Again, they're acting different, so maybe they would. But there was only one, as I can remember.
Right.
So yeah. Do you guys kind of set out, or do you have any more questions for Jorn? Or
I'm good to go.
I'm ready to set out.
Okay.
Following your lead.
In that case, you begin heading out. You follow his map. It's fairly rough, and most of it's kind of based on landmarks. Are any of you proficient in survival or navigator's tools or something that would kind of help you?
Yes,
I am.
As well.
I also have the wanderer skill from my background.
What is the?
I do as well.
You have an excellent memory for maps and geography. You can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around you. In addition, you can find food and fresh water for yourself and the five other people.
I also have that.
Very cool.
As do I.
Oh my god, you guys are all so nature bound. So as you head out, I imagine with the three of you walking through the woods in this way, it's just a feast as you're going through. You can all just everywhere you look, it's just fresh berries and mushrooms, competing to find the best forage. as you're walking through. And according to the map, which you guys are able to, I think literally with 3 of you that are explorers and like good at following maps, I'm not even going to make you guys roll to like navigate here. You just find your way there, because despite its crudeness, you guys are experts. It kind of puts you past landmarks. A lot of the points that he's drawn on the map are just like, this is kind of a funny looking rock, and then you walk towards the sun when you get to this funny looking rock. It's very loose, but it gets you there. And the reason that you can tell that you're getting close is because as you're wandering through the woods, for one thing, the terrain is growing a little bit craggier. And from what you guys, what kind of information Jorn told you about basilisks, they tend to like a little bit more rocky areas. And then you notice something even probably more striking, more of a sign of that. You can see what appears to be a furbolg that is walking through the area here. The ground is kind of loose stone dust, and you can see they are looking to the side in horror, as they have been petrified in stone as well. So you can tell that you're getting close at this point, certainly. Unlike the petrified individuals that you saw back at Jorn's house, his family, this one you can see like a couple of, like the arm is broken off, and there's just like chunks that have been broken around his torso and waist, where this person probably would not survive being unpetrified. He's not whole. Yeah, that's the first sign that you can see. And based on following the map, you're pretty sure the basilisk nest that he was referring to is close to up ahead. It's getting near to nightfall by the time that you get here, and you can see, just different outcroppings of rock here amongst the terrain. So, yeah, that's kind of where you're at right now. What would the 4 of you like to do?
Head up and check it out.
Yeah, how are you walking? Are you guys trying to be particularly quiet right now, or are you all sticking together? Are you staying to the woods? What's sort of your angle of approach?
I say I would be trying to do it a little stealthily, and as I'm approaching, can I cast Armor of Agathis on myself?
Most assuredly. You absolutely can. So, yeah, pop that up. And that's going to give you 5 temporary hit points, right? And
Yes.
You deal cold damage back?
Correct.
All right, yeah, so you watch as Jatora just kind of places a hand upon themselves, and icy armor appears over them as they're kind of gearing up for any kind of conflict here. What about everyone else? Are you all just kind of following Jatora's lead here and trying to sneak up? You stand back. You can tell that there's something of a sudden downturn in this kind of rocky section of the region, and you can see what looks to be it looks to be almost like a crater in this region. And now looking at the crude map, which just has like a U and then like the basilisks here, it looks like maybe the basilisk might be down in this little like rocky crater almost. So you guys are right on the bowl, right on the outside of the bowl of that. So why don't all of you make stealth checks, if that's going to be kind of the method of approach here, if you're following Jatora's lead. Oh, geez. You begin walking up closer, and there's some larger, like I said, outcroppings of stone here that you guys are trying to hide behind. And you begin kind of poking your heads out and looking down, and sure enough, this is the spot, because at the bottom of this little crater, it's maybe like 30 feet in radius, you can see what appears to be the basilisk. It is a large reptilian creature. It has 8 legs, a row of like these red spines that run along its back, blue lizard-like scales, and it currently is sleeping. As you get closer to it, you You, Herald, as you're walking closer, and you're kind of peeking out to also get a look at the creature, you step on maybe a loose piece of earth on the outside of this crater, and it begins rolling down, and you see it kind of hits and strikes into the side of the resting basilisk here. As like I said, it's starting to get pretty dark, but the dim kind of twilight, you're still able to see it. You see the basilisk kind of like open an eye for a moment, and then kind of look around, smell the air a couple of times, and go back to kind of like resting. You guys currently have one failure for trying to get the eggs away from this basilisk without it waking up or kind of coming after you. And you can tell by looking at it, this is a big and very dangerous creature. If you could avoid conflict, it would be better.
Can we actually see any eggs?
Make me a perception or nature check, whichever one you're better with. 20. Yeah. You can't see any currently, but in that moment that it kind of stirred for a moment, where Herald knocked that stone downwards, you saw it shift, and it seems to be laying on top of the eggs that it has.
I believe there is no way to retrieve the eggs without first cleansing the basilisk.
No, the eggs are underneath it, and yeah, no.
That's what I said.
Well, we could try to distract it, or I could try to slide one out from underneath it. I don't mind.
Yeah, both of those could be angles.
What do you guys think?
I really doubt either of those plans would work, but if it's all we have, I suppose we can try.
Among other things, one thing that you kind of have working to your advantage here, there are large boulders in places kind of sticking out all along the inside of this little like basilisk nest that it has carved out for itself, as well as a couple of statues of other creatures that it looks like it has petrified and then almost taken bites out of. There are definitely like gnaw marks on the side of some of the statues that are here in this pit.
Oh, yes. Is there only one?
You can only see one basilisk, which is kind of going against some of the stuff that Jorn said. He thought there might be like another one that had caused it to move or change its patterns, but it just looks like one basilisk.
Are these boulders like, do they look like boulders we could push, or just big boulders we can hide behind?
You could do either one of those things. I mean, it would definitely take some doing to get one to come loose, but there's a couple that are a good enough shape that might get some roll to them if you wanted to like loose them and send them down into the center of the crater here.
Well, I'm not very strong, but I could sneak up closer, and then maybe if you roll the boulder down, it would distract the creature enough, and I could snatch an egg.
The boulder would likely end on top of it, crushing the egg.
It's pretty big. I'm sure it could at least stop the boulder with its body. Basilisks are tough creatures, and they eat stones.
What are you up to right now, Jatora?
How echoey is this bowl?
You are in a pretty open. You're in a pretty open, area, but there's forest around you. I mean, it's average echoey, I would say.
Okay, I have an idea, but I don't know how well it will work.
What is it?
I was going to say I could lure it away with my pan flute while you guys come in from the other side to try to get the eggs. And then hopefully I won't get caught by it while you guys are gone.
That works for me as well.
You have a pan flute as well.
You guys are thinking about a duet.
Perhaps.
What's Badger doing right now?
Willing to sneak down with Alaster if that's what the plan is.
Okay, if we're doing this, I say we should each the two groups get on either side of the bowl, and then we'll start as soon as we start playing the pan flutes. You guys walk in and try to grab an egg.
Okay.
Realize we would still have to fight.
Maybe, or we can just run.
So, are you guys?
Yeah, I'll start sneaking down.
Okay. In that case, Badger is going to head with Alaster, I believe, right?
Correct.
And we got two pan flute players again. Yeah, Purple, you're saying in chat the serendipity of all of these similarities. We got two pan flutists heading over to the other side. And how are you guys positioning yourself? Are you also going down into the bowl, or are you staying like closer to the top of the bowl here? Or?
I want to stay near the top and hide, and if it starts like coming closer, I want to like move away from it while still like trying to be a little stealthy.
Okay. In that case, why doesn't one of you make me a pan flute check? So charisma plus proficiency, and do so with advantage. Either one of you can attempt it and you'll have advantage because you guys are playing together, or you can both just attempt it and it'll kind of do the average of it.
Okay. Oh, I actually hit it twice. My bad.
All good. What's the plan for you, Purple? Are you gonna also just try and play, or do you want to just help your ally here? Okay. $15. Okay, between the two of you together, there's a couple of sour notes, and this is a tense moment, Jatora. But with the two of you playing together, you begin kind of letting this sort of lilting melody kind of flit through the crater, and the basilisk is still kind of sleeping down here, and you're drawing it, but it's not quite waking up. Like, you can tell it almost is sort of relaxing a little bit more, and it might need something a bit more forceful to like jolt it awake. But currently you can tell it's relaxing. It's like hearing the music and maybe even enjoying it, because it seems to be like almost like rocking a little bit in its sleep down the bottom of the crater. And as I said, it is still sleeping. Would both of you like to make me stealth checks as you guys are trying to kind of approach from behind as this music is starting?
Hey, maybe that works.
Ooh.
Get to sleep.
Yeah, 23 and 18. Yeah, you guys are completely silent. It's the lulling of the pan flutes is definitely even aiding you here, as the creature is falling maybe into a slightly more relaxed slumber. He does not hear a thing as you guys are behind the last rock before you get to just where the basilisk is laying. It's maybe like 10 feet away from the basilisk at this point, as you two are kind of crouched down low behind it. You can see from here, you had originally asked, you had originally mentioned this, and I imagine this is something that you were looking for, Badger. You can see what looks like one of those eggshells that has been cracked or has hatched or has been destroyed, but you can actually see a few fragments of one of those eggshells that are like right next to, it's just barely underneath like the stomach of the basilisk. So it would take like a little bit of force, but you could grab a piece without having to take a whole egg, you think? And with without destroying an egg, which I know is one of your goals as well. What do you guys do next? You can see, you guys from the top can see that they're in position.
I say we keep playing, trying to make it even more relaxed.
Okay, so you're gonna go the angle now of just like full lull it to sleep. I like it. Do you have any way that you guys can, as it stands, you know, he's calm, but do you have any way that you can kind of up your flute game or increase the relaxing nature of it? Any particular way, or are you guys just kind of continuing to play the same melody? Because I think it's about as relaxed as it can in the current with the current
I
way.
could like herbs for my herbalism kit that are like relaxing or so. I don't know. That's just a thought.
I mean, if you had some way to get it into the creature's mouth, if you want.
Oh, not its mouth. No, definitely not.
Or get the smoke down there. You'd have to have some way for it.
My bad. I didn't mean to hit that.
Oh, all good. It sounded like you were about to say something, Alaster.
Well, I think I'll try to grab that egg shard, because anything goes wrong, I could probably run the fastest.
That tracks to me. So you're just gonna go up and go for it. You already rolled a 23 stealth, so I'm not gonna make you roll stealth again to get right up next to it. The Basilisk is just currently kind of laying down kind of flat with its legs just out to the side. So it's like under a little bit of it's under like the belly and part of it's under a foot. You walk up closer to it, and yeah, it would take, strength, sleight of hand, whatever. Do you have a particular way that you want to try and get it out?
Yeah, it'll be sleight of hand. Strength's not really a thing that I do.
All right. In that case, you reach down and you kind of slide and adjust it to the side a bit. And with a 16, you have like maneuvered it into a position. You've gotten it like half out from underneath it, but at the end of the day, it is going to take just either the creature to move a bit or a little bit of force to do it. But you're in a position where if the creature made like the slightest movement, you could just grab it and go. You've kind of wiggled it to that point without waking and moving it obviously carefully, so that you didn't wake up the creature getting it to this area. The creature, now that you're close to it, you can hear its kind of like growling breath as it continues to sleep in the space.
Am I able to use prestidigitation to add like some string instrument notes in with our flute to like enhance it to make it more calm?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. So you begin prestidigitating, I imagine, like around the creature, and in like the region around like the basilisk's ears and things, to really kind of like drive the effect home, as this extra layer of string music goes in. Go ahead and make me another performance check, and this time I will give you a check with the pan flute, and I will give you advantage on that.
Oh.
11. That is exactly the DC. So you barely succeed. You swear to God, from where you are up on high, you just see like an eye open and start to turn towards Alaster, and then you play another nice string note with the prestidigitation cantrip, and it kind of rests back down. And as it kind of shifts, you are able to drag the eggshell out from underneath, and you now have a pretty size. I mean, these are basilisk eggs. They're from a big egg, so it's like a piece of shell the size of your hand that you're able to pull out, Alaster.
Now I leave.
Yes, leave.
Yeah, okay, so you guys turn and begin kind of creeping backwards slowly, and then I imagine pretty quickly, once you get out of the range of it, and yeah, you guys roll really well on that. The basilisk does not stir. Yeah, you guys pop up. But you, Badger, I think that you noticed this with your... because you rolled a very good perception check earlier, and also you have a good perception bonus as well, so you would have the passive as well. You are starting to notice as you're getting out of the pit. And this point, it's pretty near to nightfall. Like it's getting pretty close to just pitch black. Do you guys have dark vision? Any of you?
I do.
I do.
Okay. You notice a couple of like bits of shifting movement kind of among the trees and moving among the rocks in this area. You're all retreating and moving further away from this crater where the Basilisk was. But yeah, there's something else here as well. And Alaster, I think you'd be the most likely to pick this one up. You're seeing now as you're walking away some of these statues that had like parts where it looked like they'd been consumed and bitten. The bite marks are not basilisk sized. They are smaller than that. There's something else here. And you're the first one to notice it, Badger. What do you do or say? Or
I'm gonna let the others know that there's something else here.
Probably the children.
We should hurry and get away from them then before they try to attack us.
Jatora, you say that, and then do you start to just sort of take off?
I don't want to run in case like it wakes it up, but I want to like kind of like start swiftly moving.
Okay, you begin kind of walking through the night. Those of you who are able to see in the dark, I imagine, are leading the way. I believe that was Badger and Jatora, right?
Right.
Yes.
Alaster and Herald. Do either of you have any like form of light or way to see, or are you guys just kind of currently blindly following your allies in front of you?
I'll light a torch.
Okay. The torch kind of blazes here in the darkness, and as the light kind of spreads out, those of you who do have the dark vision are kind of seeing now the extra radius that you get from the light that you have. Here kind of shows the creatures right on the outskirts of your vision, and for just a moment they look almost like dogs, these hounds of sorts, but they are stark gray. They're completely hairless, and they don't seem to have eyes. As soon as the kind of light appears, they are and you guys kind of adjust to where they are. They're walking behind rocks and things, but they're really like tracking alongside of you, kind of seeming to stalk you now at this point.
Oh, this is not good at all.
I wonder what manner of creatures these are. I've never seen one before.
Do you are you guys going to continue to pursue, or do you guys like hold? They're moving pretty quick. Like you can tell that they would definitely outpace you if you
We should probably form a defensive circle of some sort. I don't think we're going to outrun these.
Agreed.
Can I use? I want to use one of my Eldritch invocations, Beast Speech, so I can cast Speak with Animals at will. And I want to add.
Can you read me the? Can you throw Beast Speech up in chat, or read me the text of it?
Oh yeah, it's literally you can speak with you can cast Speak with Animals at will without expending a spell slot. It's an
okay. That's Speak with Animals.
I don't think these are animals.
Yeah, that was my question. Is you go to like communicate them, and you begin speaking words, and what you begin hearing in response are just some like very high pitched, almost chirping barks that kind of pierce through the air here. They don't appear to be beasts in the typical sense. They don't speak your language. But as you kind of make this sound and communicate, maybe reacting to it, this is the moment that they start closing in on you. I would like you to roll for initiative.
Whoops.
Of course, my character that has terrible dexterity gets good int rolls.
Yeah, you have a notoriously poor initiative usually, but today you're number one. So these creatures, you see them begin to move towards you suddenly. Just at the sound, both of them instinctively just like they turn their heads in the direction of Jatora as Jatora begins to speak and start like bounding inwards. Go ahead and tell me what you want to do. There appears to be two of them that are running at you.
Oh, do they actually look like now that they get closer?
They look like gray hounds, but as you're seeing them now, they don't seem to have any noses, and their eyes are just very small, almost vestigial, with kind of like a white. They appear to be blind. There's kind of like some light frills at the base of this, at the base of the skull that kind of go down towards the top of their throat. That seem to be something like some kind of sensor. That is the creature.
How far away is it?
It's maybe at this point, they're kind of like dodging and ducking between rocks as they're both kind of approaching in, but on either, they're coming from opposite sides of you and they're 20 feet away on either side.
Alright. Let us see. I'll cast Infestation.
Okay. And what's going to happen? You're going to target. Do you want to go just for point of order, right or left?
Left.
Okay. And what happens? What do they do?
Basically, a cloud of mites, fleas, and other parasites appear momentarily on one creature, and it. Oh wait, I should just click on the spell. Wait, how do I get the spell to show up?
If you just click on it in your character sheet, it should pop up.
It's not.
Okay, well, just tell me what. Basically, I'm just asking what save did they make against this?
Constitution.
Constitution saving throw. Oh, that's pretty good. Is a 15 gonna succeed?
Yes.
Okay. You watch as these fleas and mites come out from the hand of Herald here, and you see them swarm around the stone crawler, but they're unable to find purchase. Anything else on your turn? Still have a bonus action.
Nothing really. Just.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Do you have to like bring your shield up as an action in D&D?
Nope. You just always have your shield up. It's presumed if you're wielding a shield.
Okay. Well, I am.
Okay. And in that case, that's going to bring us next to Jatora. What do you want to do, Jatora?
I'm going to throw Eldritch Blast at the one on the right.
Okay, go ahead and make me an attack roll. A 10. Unfortunately, a 10 is going to miss. The Eldritch Blast strikes into them, but their kind of gray flesh is actually fairly stone-like itself, and it glances off to the side. Or actually, that was the damage. That wasn't actually an attack roll. That was
Wait, how do I? Did I do something wrong?
You may still hit. Yeah, you just rolled. You got a maximum on the damage if you do hit. But I just need you to make an attack roll with your spellcasting attack modifier. It was so high, I just assumed that
it's doing damage again. Did I mess something up?
Let me take a look for you real quick here. Oh yeah, you forgot to add your attack modifier. What's your Okay, I got it for you. It should work now if you do it again.
There we go.
Crit. So now, go ahead and click Eldritch Blast where it popped up in chat, and it'll give you your crit damage. So
there
10 plus 6. Wow, that's a really good Eldritch Blast. You point towards. You want to go left or right? Just
right.
Right. You fire an Eldritch Blast forward, and it does not glance off the stone hide. Instead, as it's kind of like snarling and letting off this kind of like strange high-pitched bark, you get it right in the mouth as its mouth is opening for the bark, and you hear it kind of let off this like very pained noise as you hit for 16 points of damage. Damn. Anything else on your turn?
I'll just ready my quarterstaff for attack.
Okay. You're kind of right now. I'm currently just seeing you all kind of like standing. You're all just standing together, kind of like back to back. Is that the vibe right now?
I guess it is.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's going to bring us next to Alaster. What do you want to do, Alaster?
I'm going to drop my torch, and then I'm going to run over to the one that was just hit with the Eldritch Blast and attack it.
Most certainly. Go ahead and make an attack roll. A 19 is going to hit for 11 points of bludgeoning damage. That's another firm hit. It's not enough to bring it down, but you can see it's getting pretty wounded at this point. Certainly bloody. Anything else on your turn?
And that's it.
Okay. Wait, you don't want to do the unarmed strike?
Oh yeah, man.
I was surprised. The classic.
Yeah, a lot of work today. Sorry.
No problem. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, unfortunately, the 11 misses. But yeah, you go in and kind of kick after you do the two-handed quarterstaff strike, and the creature doesn't quite land through the tough stone hide that they have, and that I guess would be the end of your turn. You kind of have stepped out a little bit at this point because you had to like run over to get it because they were still approaching, so you're a little bit separated now. As we move next in initiative 2, it's foe turn. The stone crawlers are going to come over, and they're going to make an attack first against you, Alaster, the one that you just punched because you're right up in its grill. It's going to bite and claw at you. Whenever it appears to me. There we are. So it's going to make a claw attack. It's an 11.
No.
And then an 11. And then the other one, you can see as the other stone crawler begins kind of bounding closer, and it's going to go after you, Jatora, who had originally kind of come forward because it heard you speak, and the creature kind of dives, kind of pouncing over towards you, and it's going to make a claw attack against you. That's a 7 to hit. Oh, it's rolling forward.
No.
And then it's going to make a bite attack. That's a 15.
Yes.
You take 11 points of piercing damage.
Oh, it takes 5 damage though from Armor of Agathis.
Oh yeah, that's right. The cold energy unleashes and shatters, and you can see some of it like cracks in the stone skin of the creature. But yeah, you do take, in that case, 6 points of piercing damage after your temporary hit points. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
No.
Yeah.
Yikes.
You watch as the point where it bit into you, you can see, like, you got hit right about, like, the kind of the leg, the lower part of your leg, and you begin to feel, like, a pain about that area, and you can see that where it kind of ripped through some of the fabric of your clothes, your skin is starting to like turn gray.
That is very not good.
Yeah, it's not a great situation that you currently find yourself in. But yeah, that's all that's happening for right now. That's going to bring us next to Badger. What would you like to do? There's one of these creatures that are right up in your midst, and another one a little bit farther off that's locked in battle with Alaster.
All right, the one that just attacked
That just attacked Jatora?
Jatora.
Yes.
I'm going to do Primal Savagery on, lengthen my nails, and slash at it.
Very cool. Go ahead and make me an attack. Is that an attack roll? I'm not super familiar with the Primal Savagery cantrip. Okay. A 9. You swing your claws downwards, and once again, just the tough hides on these creature are kind of pulling you back. The skin just leathery and stone-like. So unfortunately, that attack misses. Anything else on your turn?
I think that's going to be it.
Okay. That is going to bring us back around to the top of the initiative, which means it is going to be you, Herald. What would you like to do, Herald?
How far away are they now?
One of them is 20 feet away, and one of them is just like very close to you, like 5 feet away, battling Jatora.
Look at my options here. I'll try Infestation again.
Okay. I'm gonna make another Constitution saving throw, right?
Yes.
Are you going after the one that's near you, or the one that's farther away from you?
Do I have to make a concentration check or something for the one that's near me?
Nope. I'm just.
All right, then I'll do the one that's near me.
Okay. 12. Is that going to succeed?
No.
All right. What happens?
Well, if it's immune to poison damage, like resistant or however it works, it takes nothing.
It's not immune to poison damage.
But it takes 1d6 poison damage and moves 5 feet in a random direction.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me that 1d6, and then to determine the direction randomly, I will roll a d8. And...
it says roll a d4.
Oh, okay. So just up, down, left, or right. Cool. So that would be up, and then going around 2 would be to the right. Is that how that works?
2 is south.
Oh, 2 is south. Okay, so it's actually going to run backwards away from you guys. How far does it run?
5 feet.
And my other question is, can you roll that damage for me? Uh, 5 points.
Wait, no, I meant 1d6.
I'll let you keep the 5 if you want.
Okay, I'll keep the 5.
Yeah, you can have the 5. Since you rolled the lesser dice and still did good. The bites begin to gnaw at it. This time you see them kind of penetrating through the tougher skin and getting down and landing some bites on it. The creature begins kind of panicking and running around in circles as it steps backwards and away from you guys, which force movement can provoke opportunity attacks, but it does give you guys a little bit of leeway to back off from this creature now, if you would like to do so, as we move to your turn, Jatora.
Okay, I'm going to look at the one that bit me, and I'm going to take out a twig, and I'm going to cast Witch Bolt on it.
Oh no. Go ahead and make me an attack roll.
It did damage again. God, hang on.
Yeah, you just gotta go into your... you have to go into your attack.
Yeah, I did that already. I don't know why it went back. All right, there we go.
21 is definitely gonna hit, and roll me that Witch Bolt damage for 5 points of lightning damage. As it arcs through the air for just a brief moment. I imagine you can see the cartoonish, see its skeleton inside as it gets electrocuted. And then, you maintain this connection, the lightning now lighting up the relative dark here. And that's going to bring us next in initiative to Alaster. I'm sorry, did you have anything else on your turn? You still have a bonus action.
No, I want to keep this going.
Okay, cool. Alaster, what would you like to do?
Miss. I would like to miss.
You succeed in missing as you swing the quarterstaff high above the head, not landing the strike, but then your unarmed strike is going to connect. Go ahead and roll damage on that. 7 points of bludgeoning damage. Another firm strike, and this stone crawler is you can see it's battered and bloody at this point. It is very much nearing defeat. As we move next in initiative to the foe, and this one that's battling you, it is hurting, but it just sort of lashes out towards you in just a last ditch effort to survive here, as it's going to make a claw against you, Alaster, which misses, and a bite attack, which he's having bad luck today. Both of those do not land, as the other stone crawler is going to wheel around. Actually, I think it's going to keep going after you at this point, Jatora, because you're still hitting it with lightning. So it's going to make a claw attack against you, Jatora. That's a 12 to hit. Does that get you?
It misses.
And then it's going to make another bite attack again. Oh yeah, that one's going to hit.
Oh.
7 points of piercing damage. You still holding up?
Barely.
Okay. You land another bite. You cannot... actually, I do need you to make another Constitution saving throw.
All right. Oh, God.
Oh, my God. You're having bad luck with this. You can see as it bites into you and more of this disease kind of seeps into you here, you find that your dexterity score has been reduced by 4 as the petrification is spreading a little bit.
Ooh.
What is your dexterity after that reduction by 4?
10.
Okay, you're good. You're in good shape still. And that is going to bring us... I'll just say now, you would know that if your dexterity would reach to 0, that would effectively mean you've been fully petrified.
Yeah.
That's going to bring us next to Badger. What would you like to do, Badger?
I'm going to assume that if I attack the one that's attacking Jatora, I'm going to be electrocuted.
That would not happen.
Okay.
mechanically.
Okay, then I will go ahead and do Primal Savagery again and attempt to claw it.
Yeah, go ahead. Best of luck. A 9. Ugh. Unfortunately, it does not. As you go and again try and you're holding back, I imagine, a little bit because you're seeing this big lightning bolt that's coursing through the area, and it ends up kind of missing as yet the dog dodges out of the way. The stone crawler. Do you have anything else on your turn though? Bonus action?
Nope.
Okay. In that case, that's going to bring us back around to the top as these creatures continue to fight. The one fighting Alaster is near defeated at this point. As we move to you, Herald, what do you want to do, Herald?
I will do a Primal Savagery. Me.
Also, Jatora, I do need you to make me a concentration check.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. What roll is that? Is that also?
That's Constitution save.
Ah,
The witch bolt goes that you're having a hard time specifically on Constitution saves as the witch bolt fizzles.
How do I cast my spell as an attack?
Why don't you just go ahead and roll me a d20 plus your spellcasting modifier rather than you'd have to have it set up properly on your character sheet to do that.
Okay.
16 is going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
Are they affected by acid?
They are. Does this deal acid damage? Okay, what does it look like? What like natural weapon are you creating with your primal savagery?
Spikes, like branches grow out of my arm, and I just kind of whap him with it.
Okay, and go ahead and roll damage on that because it definitely hits.
I swear I did. Try again.
Yeah, you only have the hit so far. Unless I'm missing it. Yeah, no, you only have the hit so far.
What do I add to damage on a melee spell attack thing?
On Primal Savagery, you add your spellcasting, I believe.
So +3 for you in that case. 9 points of damage. Yeah, this one's also starting to look pretty beat up from that witch bolt, and now this primal savagery. This one's also now definitely bloodied. Anything else on your turn?
Don't really have any bonus action stuff I could do, so not really.
No healing word or anything. All right.
Oh wait, is healing word a bonus action?
Yeah, healing word's a bonus action.
Who's like really looking bad?
I am.
Jatora's in very, very rough state at the moment.
60 feet. Sure. I'll do that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a d4 +3. You gain 4 points of health, Jatora, and that's going to bring us next initiative to you, Jatora.
Oh, thank you. I'll look at the one that keeps biting me, and I'm going to use Eldritch Blast on it.
Yeah, go ahead and make me an attack roll.
Oh,
It was
yes.
a disadvantage because you're in melee and it's arranged, but that doesn't matter because a 19 would have hit anyway. Roll damage on that.
Oh.
4 more points of force damage as it blasts forth from your hand. The creature gets battered once more, and you can see it's kind of like with all of the sounds and the chaos and like the lightning shock sound effects. This creature's starting to get like disoriented as it's like turning its head and trying to take in all the chaos of the battle. Yeah, that is going to be. I'm sorry, is that all for your turn?
Can I use my bonus action to whip it with my quarterstaff?
Unfortunately, you can only do that with a light weapon if you make an attack with a regular weapon.
Okay.
You can't do the bonus action attack.
That's fine. Then I end my turn.
Okay. Alaster, your move.
Time to put this dog down.
Yeah,
Oh, damn.
you probably put this dog down. I mean, roll damage, but it's going to be... Yeah, okay. Would you care to describe your killing blow on this particular stone crawler?
I'll break its neck with my staff, and then I'll suck out its life force.
is this a thing that you can do?
Oh, wait, wrong one.
Do you deflect the missiles to suck out its life force? Jesus. All right. You do this. I mean, you do this thing. You bring the quarterstaff over directly onto its neck, which you can see some of like the cracking of the stone skin on this creature, and then you regain some temporary hit points. How many temporary hit points you get?
5.
5. Nice. As you are overcome with this necrotic energy. Anything else on your turn?
I'll move over in position to the other one.
Oh yeah, you can make an attack too if you want.
Can I?
Yeah. Still got a bonus action. Oh wait, is that a bonus action to do the absorb thing?
No.
Oh yeah, so you still have a bonus action.
Oh yeah, I thought I had to be part of my attack action, that's all.
No, I think it's if you make an attack, you can do it.
All right. I'll go over and kick the dog in the stomach.
It's gonna hit also. Alaster's having a hot day. 5 points of damage. Yeah, this one's also looking pretty beat up. But that's gonna move us on to its turn. And it's gonna wheel around and claw and bite at you, Alaster, which the 14, does that get you?
Nope.
After you kind of kick it and it immediately just kind of rakes over the claws and snaps, you step back agilely. As this is, that's it for this creature. It's looking pretty near defeat as we move to your turn, Badger.
I am going to reach out and touch Jinhal or Jatora and cure wounds.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and roll me a d8 plus your spellcasting modifier for that big healing. 10 points of healing. That's
Nice.
That's a beefy heal. Jatora needed that right now. You hold your hand out and you watch as your allies' wounds close over. And while the bite marks are gone from where they were kind of struck in the legs, the kind of the graying of their skin is decidedly still happening, but they do look a lot hardier. And anything else on your turn?
That's it.
Okay. That's gonna bring us to Herald. What do you want to do, Herald?
Is the one that died the one that was close to me, or the one that was farther away from me?
The one that died was the one that was farther away from you.
Great. I'm gonna do another primal savagery.
Make an attack.
Wait. Oh, wait. That. Oh right, I just have to roll it.
12 unfortunately is going to miss. You go to rake at it with this primal savagery, but unfortunately it does not connect. As we move next to Jatora.
How far away is this one?
This is the one that's been right up with you the whole time.
Okay.
And it's pretty nearing defeat, it looks like.
I'm just going to take a swing at it with my quarterstaff.
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack roll. 14 is going to barely hit.
That's enough.
Roll that damage.
Never mind.
1 point of bludgeoning damage. You give it just a good little bonk.
That is for biting me.
The creature kind of looks up at you and once again looks at you with renewed anger as you strike it for a disrespectful 1 point of damage.
Bad dog.
And that's going to bring us to Alaster, I believe.
Booped the doggo.
I don't want to show off. I won't.
Yeah, 10 unfortunately is going to miss, but 16 is going to hit. Roll damage on that. For 5 points of bludgeoning damage, still not quite enough. So close. As you bring the quarterstaff down, the dog kind of leaps out of the way, but then you connect with the kick to the stomach again. Is it all for your turn, Alaster?
That's it.
It's the creature's turn. The creature is going to look. You hit it most recently, so it's going to be you again, Alaster. As it cannot seem to connect with you, however. 17. Does that hit?
Yes.
I will need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Excellent.
Oh my God, only crit fails. You get that first bit of grayness on your leg as well as you begin to be petrified, and you take 7 points of piercing damage. That's all for the creature's turn as we circle around once more to you, Badger. What do you want to do, Badger? Creature's like on his last breath.
I'm gonna attempt to claw it again.
Best of luck. Unfortunately, the 11 misses as you go to claw down. Just bad luck on the primal savagery. Yeah, anything else on your turn? Okay, yeah. That's gonna bring us to Herald.
Sorry, I don't know what that was that I put in chat. I'm gonna also try Primal Savagery. There we go.
Okay, there's no amount of damage you can do that doesn't finish the creature off because it had 1 hit point remaining. But go ahead and roll damage anyway, just for style. You deal 6 points of damage. Would you care to describe your killing blow on the creature here?
So basically, out of my hand comes like a vine-like whip, and it just strikes it.
And as this kind of acidic vine lashes down and kind of corrodes away at the creature, it lets out one final shrill as it collapses onto the ground, falling slain. And in the distance, from the kind of the cries of these two stone crawlers, you can hear the sound of the basilisk stirring more proper now.
Oh, I say we make haste and get out of here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And following that advice, Jatora, you begin booking it away.
Well, more like dragging my legs.
Yeah, and I was going to say maybe a little bit more clumsy than you would like because of the petrification that's begun to happen to your leg. But you all begin dashing off into the woods and into the night. As you again, it was a pretty long journey through the woods here, but with all of your explorer features, you're able to make it back easily, and you find yourself returning eventually to the home from which you left. And by the time you get back, that bit of petrification for you, Alaster, it's like just kind of like spreading a little bit, kind of like starting to make its way up to your shin, I would say. But for Jatora, it's like you're actually, by the time you get back, you're at a point where you're dragging your leg kind of along the ground. And you guys have eggshell that hopefully would be helpful to you here.
Johann, we've returned.
It's good to see you again. And he kind of like runs up as soon as, did you find the eggshell? Oh, it looks like you are hurt. Are you okay?
I'll be fine, I think.
Did you get the shell? Maybe I can help you too if you have it.
Yes, here's the shell.
You see he immediately kind of takes it and very quickly, very quickly and scared. I think at this point, like I said, it was a pretty long walk to get here, and it's getting to be dawn again. You guys have basically pulled an all-nighter as you guys get back. And he goes over to a mortal and pestle and begins grinding up the eggshell, eventually pouring it into that kind of bubbling green pot that he had just simmering throughout this time. And you can see immediately as he does so, the green kind of turns like a much darker black color. And he begins kind of scooping it out in ladles. And you see him run into his home. And following him, you see him begin pouring it on his family, and then ultimately on your legs, those of you who were affected by this.
It smells disgusting.
It does smell decidedly disgusting. And
I cannot smell.
That is fortunate for you in this particular instance. He looks over and he goes, well, hopefully it's supposed to just, the stone will just, and he's kind of getting nervous, you can tell, as nothing seems to happen for a time. And then you begin to hear a cracking noise, and you see the stone kind of shells that have come around these individuals as their stones have turned to kin, like almost like a layer of skin sort of peeling off here. This outer layer, his family begins to kind of come back. And you see your leg, Jatora. The same kind of effect happens where it cracks, and your leg is now kind of made free as well.
Thank goodness.
You hear his daughter and wife kind of, it's very nice to meet both of you after they're kind of like looking over at Yorn, their eyes kind of like watering a little bit from being released. Thank you so much for saving us. We could hear you while we were inside of those shells. Yorn just goes over and kind of embraces his family, and you watch his son kind of walks out of the kitchen. Dad, you really tied a frying pan to my hand, huh? And Yorn just kind of also kind of like chuckles a little bit and tears up, and he kind of looks back at you. I can't thank the four of you enough for what you've done for me today. I owe you money, and he hands each of you 100 Bartholomew bucks. Each of you gain 1 point of experience, and you've successfully completed this first adventure tonight, as you've allowed Yorn to reunite with his family. So congratulations on your victory, heroes.
Nice.
Yay.
Also, do I get my dexterity back, or is it?
Yes, you get your
Okay.
dexterity back as the petrification ends. And also, just as a reference, anytime something permanent like that happens to you in DnDTime, Bartholomew always cures it for you when you come back. Unless specified otherwise, which would almost never happen.
It's happened once.
Yeah, on very rare occasions.
Blue.
But you find yourselves eventually back at Bartholomew's shop. Would any of you like to shop? I guess is my first question.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you find yourself back at Bartholomew's shop, who greets the four of you as you enter. Greetings, adventurer. I trust that everything went well. Your leg looks like. Is everything all right with that, Jatora? You're walking a bit funny.
Yes, it was recently petrified and then unpetrified. I'm getting used to it.
Yes. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad that it's unpetrified now. Can I purchase anything for any of you?
No, thank you, not for me.
Would any of you like to purchase anything from me? Is probably a better way of phrasing that particular sentence. Anyone else
Yes.
interested? Yes.
Oh.
Herald, correct?
Yes. So there may be an issue. I would like to upgrade my armor, but my armor is currently incorporated within my body.
Oh, that's not a problem for me. Bartholomew reaches out and just slaps your armor on the side, and you see that, like, it's different for most people. It's just sort of like your armor just changes from a different thing. But for you, it's like your whole body shifts to now be... Are you moving from medium armor from, like...
Leather to studded.
Oh, leather to studded. Okay, yeah. And you watch as your armor now just kind of shifts into a studded variant on the outside of your Warforged body.
Could I have had medium?
Druids can do medium, right? They can do
I
scale.
thought all medium is like metal, though.
Scale can be non-metal, I think.
Oh.
So if you would like to do medium, you can work. And if you decide that you want to do medium later, I'll just let you say that the upgraded armor that you did was the medium upgrade.
Okay.
Can I get anything for anyone else? Going once.
I should probably. Do I have enough to upgrade my armor?
Yes, it is 100 Bartholomew bucks to upgrade your armor, which is the exact amount that you got.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Hells yeah. Are you doing light or medium?
I currently have leather, so.
So you go up to studded leather. Very good. Yeah, Bartholomew reaches a hand out, and maybe less complicated than it was on the Warforged, but for you, just little studs kind of pop out of your armor like boop, 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 as you move up to studded leather armor. Very good. And I do hope that everything went well on your first adventure. I see great promise in you, Badger. Anyone else? Going once? Going twice? And we'll be back soon with our second and final adventure. See you all soon.